to A City Planner Plays City Builders. We are building the city of Bluffside Crossings and playing city skylines. The first thing I want to point out is the amount of money that we're making every day now that our business park has been created. And so in the last episode, we built this, and unfortunately I lost my audio. Now I'm looking and I see that it is indeed there. So I'm feeling good about that. So I filled this in with a little bit of landscaping, but all the buildings are operating efficiently. So we're in a very good spot there, and as a result, we have a ton of tax revenue coming in, and it's fluctuating a lot. That's what happens with the factories, but it's fluctuating at a high level. So I'm quite happy with that. And one of the things that I mentioned at the end of the last video that you couldn't hear was that there's a lot of residential demand now, and commercial demand and industrial demand is kind of been taken care of for the time being, which makes sense. We spent a lot of time focusing on it. So I want to get back to building out our new suburban area. So we built Green Hills, we put a commuter or passenger rail station here. I think there's some work that we're going to want to do here. Not sure that we'll get to that today because what I want to work on today is building Mount Hood. And what I'm thinking is I want this to be an entirely master plan new urbanist neighborhood. And what new urbanism is basically it's a school of thought with regard to urban planning, where you try to create walkable neighborhoods with a range of housing types and jobs within walking distance. So I live in a new urbanist neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood. I like that I can walk to the grocery store. I can walk to a number of neighborhood-oriented uses. And new urbanist neighborhoods are really kind of popping up all over the place. Some of the most, I guess, heralded examples would be like Celebration, Florida, or Seaside, Florida, Prospect, Newtown in Longmont, Colorado, or Middleton Hills in Middleton, Wisconsin. So there's lots of new urbanist neighborhoods, and they tend to work really well. You have a range of architecture that ends up popping up in these areas, and that's what we're going to try to accomplish today. So I'm going to do something totally different than I've done in my other neighborhoods, and that is today we are going to lay all the roads down first, lay down the pedestrian paths, plan commercial facilities, and then zone everything. I think it's going to be an interesting process, so I guess let's get started. So first of all, we have these other neighborhoods that we haven't built yet. We'll get to them at some point. What I want to do now, though, is build a loop road around Mount Hood, and I'm going to send a collector up to the top of Mount Hood. So I guess there are two ways that we could start. We could connect onto the other collector that we already have, or the other arterial that we already have. Probably going to start out by trying to kind of meet up with our other arterial. I guess it'll be the same arterial by the time we're done. And loop. So I'm going to try to get as close to a 90 here as I can. I get pretty close. 90. Okay, so that's important. Just it makes the intersection a little bit cleaner. I don't plan on using roundabouts there, so let's get our landscaping tools on. So what I'm going to try to do now is kind of just parallel the train track at this level up top a little bit until I loop back around. So I'm going to try to get to about here, and then we'll meet up, or I'll switch over to working on the other side. And the reason for that is I don't want this to be at a different elevation than this road. So if there's anything that I can do to keep these at roughly the same elevation, I'm going to do it. And this is going to be a challenging... Okay, so this is... Hold on, let me look. So this line right here is approximately the same. So that's where we're going to stick. So it's going to be difficult to get up Mount Hood already. I can see that... So I kind of scoped it out a little bit before starting the episode, and it was pretty evident that it's going to be a challenge. We'll see how I'm able to do. I think there's one opportunity in total, and that's right here. So we could kind of cut up this way at a diagonal, and it's going to be pretty steep. And we could also come over here. It might be a better way. Just let me see. See if it requires lots of bridging. Could do bridging, but yeah, so maybe we'll connect it all the way through. That would be ideal. So let's start out first. So I'm going to try to cut across these grades here, and if I can, try to make sure that I'm not going to have bridges or the like. Yeah, it's going to be a real challenge without a tunnel, which I obviously am not super interested in. So over here, how would that look? Doable, if not great. So I really would like to come up this side. So the interesting thing is I tried this with smaller roads, and with those roads particularly, I tried with the dirt road, and it lets me. So maybe what I'll try to do is send a dirt road down and see if I can convert it. We could also have a winding road. I would just really prefer to not have a winding road, if at all possible. Okay, let's see what this... Yeah, it does not like it. I could force it to like it. And that's probably what I'm going to do. Turn these off and see what this looks like. That is insane. That would be that would be an absolute nightmare to go up, but yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, so I guess we are gonna come from over here, and that's okay. I think this will work too. So we're going to come up with a collector. And what I want to do is start thinking about where the grid's going to start. Because I am going to use a grid. It'll be modified. What I think I want to do is find the middle. So this is going to be the middle road. And you'll have to bear with me a minute. I have an idea that I think is going to be really neat if I can pull it off. So what I'm thinking is I'll have a walking facility through here, and I will make these one-ways. Hold on, let me see if I can just... Gonna snake a couple roads up, some placeholder roads. Don't love that. So maybe the solution is to continue to get this up a little bit further. Yeah, I think that is the solution. Okay, so from here, we're in a much better spot. Because now, I can actually get this going. Huh. And I'll worry about getting these perfect a little bit later in terms of getting the streets, all the one-ways correct. It's kind of weird the way that looks. Go. That's much better. All right. So I like that. It's not. Ooh, that's not in the center. Shoot. That's okay. We don't need everything to be absolutely centered. Okay, and then I think the end here is going to be where the shopping center is. So let me take a look at our assets. And I think we have a Kroger. So the other thing about new urbanism is you like to orient some of these pedestrian-oriented uses, or the uses you'd like to be pedestrian-oriented, towards the street. And put the parking behind it. So let's see, I have two different target models. I think this is the one we used before, and this is the urban target. And that is the one I want to use. And then I'm going to level this pad a bit because it's going to make it very challenging to actually do anything over here with regards to parking. This will probably be the only spot in the neighborhood that I actually do significant terraforming on, but I think it is important for here. And then let's get everything even. Whoops, okay. Using the wrong selector. All right, much better. And we'll get this road all squared away. So I'm going to, one of the things about this being pedestrian oriented, I'm going to try to be as absolutely efficient, brutally efficient with the land use. I don't want to waste any space at all. And I want pedestrian facilities everywhere. So you're going to kind of see me do some things that, you might question, why am I gridding so much? That's why. I want to be incredibly efficient. And I suppose I have no problem with a grid. I think grids are fine. I think grids are actually more than fine. I think that they're good for a community. They provide incredibly efficient reuse opportunities. So you might wonder why I made this smaller. The main reason for that is I want to have a range of housing options available. And the way that I'm going to do this is by placing... Oh, that is not what I wanted to place. I'm going to place pedestrian paths to limit the lot size. So if I put that there, instead of having 4 deep, now I have 3. And I'm going to go through all of the blocks through here and have some smaller blocks. So I think it's going to be interesting. And, be able to provide housing for a variety of income levels. And that's important. Whoops, that is not the road I intended to use. So I often will skip the curvy road tool because I find it easier to use the freeform tool for things exactly like this. I think it was a lot easier to get this right using that tool. So I know that I've received questions about that. So there's the answer. So I think this first tier of homes, we're going to have that multi-use path going down the center, and then every other block we will intersect the main road. And I'm probably going to cut these block sizes in half with pedestrian paths. And for this main area over here, I'm going to kind of mirror what I've done to a certain extent. It won't be perfect. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to have some office space through here. I'm going to force this road. And this might be one of the few areas where I actually level some terrain. But I'll try not to get too crazy there. I think that's fair, I think. So this is another spot where I would really love to make that connection. Slope too steep? No problem. But let's gotta try to take it up a notch. Yeah, that's better. I think I might raise these up just a bit to make this angle a little less harsh. Okay. So let's just continue to build out the neighborhood. Oh, whoops. Wrong way. So I think I want a main park type element as well. And I might incorporate something over here. So I'll make this a small park in this area to serve the neighborhood. Now I want to kind of vary up the block sizes over here a little bit. We'll get rid of anarchy again. And the main thought process is I'm going to divide these up further. Maybe I'll even go 8 over here and provide some smaller houses. We're also going to have pockets of density, probably near the grocery store. Because the thought process here is we want to provide housing for everyone regardless of the type of housing that they want. Okay, let's take a look without this. I think we can do a little bit more over here. And I might also divide these up. Might seem like a lot of roads, but this is all connectivity. These are all pedestrian options, and that's the point of this neighborhood. Okay, so let's put some pedestrian paths in. I will leave some blocks with larger housing. This will probably be one that I just leave again. Let's see. Let's get rid of the grid here because I want to go right in the middle. So it's really important that I get these placed correctly because the game plan is to make sure that I have lot sizes that are the size that I'm shooting for. So these are smaller lots. They're two deep, 2 units deep. Okay. And then what I was thinking might be fun through here would be some sort of kind of meandering path. So this kind of, it reminds me of the Stapleton neighborhood in Denver. They do something very similar. They have a path going through the middle of their neighborhood with a walking trail. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm also not going to zone anything through the center of here either. Oh, that's the wrong one. We'll upgrade that. Oh, I don't know that I can upgrade that. Bummer. I will just redo it. All right, so I like the way this is looking. So I want to have a traditional main street, and I'm going to increase the density going up to the shopping center. Now, I don't have, let's take a look at the neighborhood. All right, I think it's all covered or mostly covered. Let's see. Policies, I want to ban high rises here. And I think I also want high-tech housing. Okay. Good. I think I'm also going to have really low taxes in this area to try to encourage development. Oh, as I'm looking at it wrong. Like, what am I looking at? Okay. And let's make this a really kind of an upscale neighborhood with lots of amenities. So we've got all of that. We need to start thinking about the different amenities that this neighborhood would need. So I want to have a public library. And this is the nice thing about having a grid, is you can kind of just break into it. And then let's see. Have Institute of Creative Arts. And a community school. A couple of them actually will need, most likely. Let's actually move this one now that I think about it. It's probably will be better served over here. So behind this commercial, I want to have some higher density residential. And then I think I'm going to put a couple offices kind of flanking the retail center to have this kind of node of density. Okay. We want to have elder care and child care. Like I said, we want to serve all ages. And actually, it would probably make more sense to, well, that's pretty close to where people work, but let's get it closer to where people work. Okay, we're gonna need a clinic. It'd be fair to keep this close to the main drag. We're also going to need a crematorium. It would be nice to have a pool kind of by this park that we're going to be building, and a yoga garden as well. I'll leave space for a pedestrian path to make its way through there in the future. A public sauna right there. And now we need city services as well. So the police department and fire. We'll use some of our smaller facilities and put them kind of in this main town center area. I think I'm going to put some lower density commercial as we start to transition. through this area. So schools, fire. We're gonna want some parks. This is not snapping. Ah, there it is. Still not snapping. Weird. That's fine. Before I forget, I want to get these roads, the one-ways going, because I will forget. And if I do forget stuff like that I've mentioned, please do let me know in the comments. I certainly appreciate the help. Turn this around. Next, let's get some parking going on in here. Okay, feeling good about that. Maybe I'm not feeling great about that. Yeah, these are always a little bit of a trick. So bear with me as I try to make this look good. Maybe they're not a trick for other people, but they are for me. Let's upgrade that, make it a little bit wider. Didn't get those just right. One more time, bear with me. I apologize. Just really want this to fit well. Space already occupied. Okay. That's a little bit better. Let's get some parking spaces in here. Actually, I'm realizing I'm missing something. So the other thing that we could be doing through here is I just lost my train of thought. That happens from time to time. I'm focused on getting this all right. And it is not. Huh. Have anarchy on. Let's. That's it. So these assets don't have back doors, unfortunately. So I think that what I'm going to do is kind of just, we will pretend a little bit here, and I'll see if there's a way that I can fix that in the future. And then I do want to leave some accessible parking. I'm probably going to leave that on the other, or near the front. I want a couple spaces up here. And down here, probably have a little bit more. Okay, so we got those, and we just need to finish out our parking lot. These aren't perfect. I might fix these offline, but I'll get them in there for now. Plenty of parking. And I think next we are going to finish out our zoning. And it's going to be pretty straightforward. Boom. Done. This is, primarily a residential neighborhood, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So just I guess a heads up, this episode is kind of a good design example. I'll have to finish this up in the next episode. But the following episode, I'm thinking of creating a not so nice neighborhood, kind of the other side of the tracks, if you will. And they're all necessary. That's maybe a reality that people don't want to admit sometimes, is that there's a need for neighborhoods that exist on all income point, all price points, so that everyone of all income levels can afford a place to live. What we can try to do as planners is make sure that it's safe, that the people who live there have the amenities that are necessary for them, and that they're happy where they're living. I think that's the big thing that planners can play a role in. So this all is right of way. So I'm just going to put water pipes right down it. So I think that's going to be the most efficient way of serving this area. But so on the planning theory, like what the purpose of planners is, that can certainly be a kind of an area rife with political discussion. That if you want to have that discussion, we can certainly do it. It's just kind of one that I've tried to avoid politics in any particular way. So okay, in the park, we'll deal with that later. Okay, we need power up here. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be super pretty, but neighborhoods need power, and we are not zoning all the way up the hill. So you get power lines. And that is a fun topic. I know that I have many conversations about utilities and the aesthetics of utilities, and it can certainly be a fun topic to have, a conversation to have with lots of people. lots of disagreement over what should be done with utility lines, whether utilities should be buried or whatnot. So this will just take a minute to start to fill in a little bit. And that'll help it along. Hopefully we get something popping up here. I don't know that we have enough parks, so I think we can help. Kind of started with parks and stopped. Let's eliminate that street so we can have a park over here. Let's see. Tropical Gardens, probably not going to work too good in the temperate map. Or I should say the game will allow it to work, but what does this look like? Oh, that is large. I'm curious about what the asset looks like, but not curious enough to put it in. Oh, you know, I have all of these high school facilities, and that might be a good addition up here. Maybe that's what we'll do instead of the park. But not just yet. Okay. Let's have a couple more things added. Let's see if that connects up our power. It does. All right. Now we're moving. So we're gonna wrap up here, and but I think Mount Hood is looking good. And I think that once we do some of the decorating and, giving this a little bit more time to fill in, it's going to be a great little neighborhood. Let's take a look at the cinematic before we go. Oh, yeah, I like this. I think it's a really attractive neighborhood. The best thing about this neighborhood, you get a great view of Hillcrest. You get a great view of the neighborhood beneath, downtown, and way off in the distance, you can see our little entertainment hub. And I suppose too, you can see the mines. So I hope that you enjoyed this build. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I make new videos. Thanks so much. The next video, we'll finish this neighborhood out, and we might start thinking about ways to improve it a little bit further before we move onto the other side of the tracks, so to speak, and build our lower income neighborhood. Thanks so much, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one.